Hello, Scoobies. How are you? Can you hear me? Anyways, I hope you're all doing fantastically fabulous. Hey. There's nobody that's going to show up in this live chat, but that's totally fine because I'm going to rant and I'm going to rave and you're going to hear the outside world and possibly a fan because it's summertime and for once we have hot weather. I don't know what's going on with the western provinces of Canada, but we're very rainy. We're just rainy and severe thunderstorms and just all of this nonsense. I have I thought I had a like and no viewers. I was like, wait, how do I have a like but no viewers? You know what? You do you. So we're going to be ranting and we're going to be raving today because I had a conversation with Lunar Wisdom yesterday. Not a mean conversation, a nice conversation. We catched up, we caught up, we chitty and we chatted. But during this conversation, we were talking about YouTube. We were talking about the witchy community. And I can't remember exactly what we were talking about, but we were talking about how she has all of these subscribers, right? Like she's got 39,000 subscribers and she was talking about how some of her videos get like 400 views and all of that other stuff. And I was talking about like the type of content that I upload and whatnot, and saying that, you know, like the series oriented content doesn't really get a lot of views. If I randomly upload, the views will kind of go up. If I go live, everybody goes insane. So we were talking about like, what the hell is it that the community wants? Because it has changed. The witchy community has changed on YouTube. And I don't know if it's for the good or for the bad. Like we were talking about some of the content that she wants to do or whatnot. And she was doing these interviews and so on and so forth. And I guess her co-host can't now and so on and so forth. But we were talking about getting disenchanted with the things that we do. Like, for example, she was talking about how, you know, when you do, when she was doing the series of like live chats, right? And she was saying that she was getting disenchanted with that because it felt like work. And I was saying, you know, it feels the same way because when I do the series oriented content, like my channel's turned into Netflix, right? Which isn't bad. But the other problem that comes out of that is that we're running out of things to talk about. Not just her and me, but I think the witchy community overall, because a lot of what gets talked about in the community is repeated over and over and over, and it's boiled down and it's made simple, and then some people they expand on it and make it more complicated. But where I'm going with this is what we've noticed is that the trendy crap that you see on YouTube, the 10 signs you're a witch, 10 signs Wicca's for you. Like, they're not bad videos, but they don't give you any substance. They're more meant for like the teeny boppers, right? Who want to get into the craft. Those types of videos bring in a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, but then you get people like me or Lunar Wisdom or Ember Honeyraven or whatnot, where we've got this base, this fan base. And we were talking about how, yeah, she may have 39,000 subscribers, but only like 400 of them are watching her videos, or they show up for her live chats because they want to chat in the live chat. And I was saying, you know, I've noticed the same thing when it comes to my videos. Like if I do a series, the views are really low. If I do random uploaded videos, the views go up. If I do live videos, the views go way up, but people just want to chat. And then you're like, okay, so if everything's been talked about, let's ask our subscribers to give us new topics to talk about, new things to talk about. And a lot of the times they don't. You don't get anything from the community. And it's like, okay, what are we doing, right? Like, I don't know. I look around at other YouTube communities and I see things like Minecraft or things like the beauty community or things like, I don't know, book clubs or cooking or whatever. And there is this relationship between creator and audience. And I'm not saying that there's not a relationship here, because there is, my tubies. Trust. We've been through hell and back together. But it's like, this thing where it's like people don't really care what you upload as long as you upload, but some people prefer a type of video, other people prefer another type of video. And it's like, how the hell do you make everybody happy? And then how do you come up with something to talk about when YouTube after a while starts to feel like work? And I came to the conclusion yesterday that YouTube is technically a job. I mean, it's a job that you can either take serious or not. It's a job where it's like the more effort, the more time that you put into it, the more that you get out of it, right? But it also depends upon the communities that you're part of, because even within the community, there are sub-communities. And the stuff that I talk about is vastly different than the stuff that the Blue Witch talks about, which is vastly different than the stuff that Ravenways talks about. So there are these sub-communities, right? And it's trying to figure out, okay, what is it that people want out of your community, and what is it that people want to watch? And then you got to figure out how to upload that stuff, and it just becomes work. And that's our entire conversation about how the fact that YouTube, specifically the witchy community, is stagnant. Ever since Tequila left, ever since Sunshine Morning Ray left, ever since you name a witch that was here 5 years ago that's no longer here, ever since they either left or passed away, there is just this stagnation in the witchy community. There's no new witches. I mean, there's a few of you that upload videos, but like there's no community, there's no evolution. There's no, like, it just became stagnant. It's like everybody revolved around one person, and now that person is gone, or people are gone, and it's like just stagnation. And it's like, oh, our community is dead. The witchy community is dead on YouTube. It is. Don't sit there and tell me that it's not. Okay, don't pretend. I'm like the last living relic of this community. Like Lunar Wisdom still uploads, Ember Honey Raven still uploads, but not like they used to, right? Not like they used to, for a variety of reasons of stuff that's going on in their life, so on and so forth. You know, you can't blame them. And as you get older, your priorities, they change, and your family is getting older and their priorities are changing, and right? But the community just, it doesn't have a fresh influx of people in it anymore. It's just this same people, and sometimes I feel like I'm just saying the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. And sometimes I kind of am, because I feel like it's not getting drilled into your skulls, right? So that's rant one. We've got all these other rants. The other thing that I'm really just tired of is the fact that there's nothing really to talk about in witchcraft anymore. And I'm like, how do we get around this? That's the other problem that we kind of came up with yesterday, that I've been trying to figure out for a few hours now. Like, you know, put it in the back of your brain, go do something else, pull it out of the back of your brain, try and figure it out, put it back in your brain, right? So everything that you can talk about in Wicca has been talked about on YouTube, the internet, social media, anywhere you can possibly think of. It's just Google it. Just Google something in Wicca that you want to know about, and it's there. 50,000 different ways said the same thing, right? So, and then there's information on traditional witchcraft, there's information on ceremonial witchcraft, there's information on hoodoo and voodoo and just all of these other practices, and it's the same thing said over and over again. But it's the basics. A lot of the information out there on these topics is the basics of these particular topics. So you'll find the basics of hoodoo, or you'll find the basics of Wicca, or you'll find the basics of traditional witchcraft, but you won't find like in-depth information. For that, you have to hunt. And you'll find channels like mine or other people that are similar in content that talk about similar things. But at the same time, it feels like the witchy community is just going in circles, and there's just nothing left to talk about. We're a stagnant bunch. We're a stagnant bunch. So I was looking at Facebook groups the other day because I was bored out of my mind, and I came across a couple of posts that I wanted to talk about. So one of them was like, it's more of an esoteric, occult science kind of sort of post. But somebody had stated, how does one come to terms with their own mortality? I don't think humans ever do. I don't think humans can come to terms with the fact that we're going to die one day. I mean, it's a known thing. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. You can't stop it from happening. One day you will die. But coming to terms with your own mortality and coming to terms and accepting that, in the occult, I mean, maybe that could be like some kind of spiritual uplifting thing where it's like, I know that I'm going to die one day, and I come to terms with that fact that I will be dust and dirt and bones one day. And right, like it could be one of those things that's like a spiritual awakening. But I don't know. I don't come to the terms with my own mortality. I'm just like, you know what? I'm never going to die. I'm going to live forever. Do you believe people can bring bad spirits into your house or bad energy that can create chaos in your house? I'm not going to bother with that one, because if you have to ask that question, like what is going on in your in your brain? Like what is happening with you, right? Let's see, is there any other posts that I want to talk about before I continue ranting about things that no one seems to care about ranting about? Where is it deemed reasonable? Oh, wait, no, that's not a post. Oh. There's like nothing in here. It's memes. A mint thing that I almost read, but no, there's just memes everywhere. Like these Facebook groups that I'm a part of, they don't have this person. I love it when people, okay, you know those egg cleansing things that people tend to do? You'll see them in Facebook groups, you'll see them everywhere, but those egg cleansing things, and then people like will crack the egg open and put it in a glass of water. Isn't this like Santeria? I don't know. I'm seeing it a lot in Facebook groups everywhere, from like hoodoo to traditional to just Wiccan to everything. I'm like, wow, people, welcome to cultural appropriation, I think. But anyways, so a lot of people have been posting these things, and I'm like, these eggs, the way that they form in the water, I'm just like, your life is screwed. I can't actually read them. I have no idea how to read them, but whatever. How can I make a sweetening jar? Don't judge me. I'm trying to learn. Well, you're an idiot. And let me tell you why you're an idiot. Because what do you think is in the title of that jar? Is it a sour? Should you put lemons in? Lemons aren't sweet. You just want to put... Are you stupid? Are you moronic? Do you have problems upstairs? Like, oh my Lord. Okay, what do you think of when you think of sweetening, right? You think of sugar, you think of cinnamon, kind of. You think of like vanilla, like it's sweet, this, right? You think of candy, you think of honey, you think of cake. Don't put cake. Cake. If you want a moldy sweet jar, you do you, but right? And like, now they're probably thinking, okay, well, what do I put in there? Your petition. It can be literally as simple as putting a little bit of sugar, a bay leaf, and your petition into a jar, burn whatever color of candle on top. If it's a love one, put a red candle. If it's a money, put a green, right? Like, or a white candle to represent all the colors, like whatever. And it's like, you can even burn a tea light candle on top. Like, it's, I get that you're trying to learn. I appreciate you. I really do. But there is something inside of me that makes me want to climb to the screen and just strangle you. Stupidity. Okay. Just absolute stupidity. Okay, I have a serious question. That's what they all say. I'm very new, except she spelled new with a K. So you're very, you new? So please be gentle. I'm going after the fact that you have no idea how to spell the word new without a K. Can having specific plants in your home put off negative energy? Also, what plants are good to have in your home? Moronicy. And the reason I say it's moronicy is because, A, we don't know about your lighting situation. So, I mean, I could say spider plants, but you could have really low light and they're not going to do that well. I mean, they're low light tolerant, but they're not going to do that well. Now, her question's not stupid. I've never actually come across this, but I mean, spider plants would be one. What else? Ferns would be another one, right? Like the absorbing of negative energy. But it all depends upon the environment of your house, right? So, oh, what's going on here? I love when people use a farm fresh egg and they're like, I'm cursed, when there's a blood spot. Bitch is gonna be cursed when I'm done with them. All right. Okay, so my mother-in-law is the effing worst, and I finally have convinced myself I love my husband more than, like, hate her. Okay, right there, your relationship already has problems. You finally convinced yourself that you love your husband more than, like, hate her. Okay, I'm not a relationship person here, but if you have to convince yourself that you love your husband over the fact that you hate your mother-in-law, then I don't know. Like, do you need to convince yourself that you like, right? The moment you enter my house, you get negative energy. Well, that's your fault, not ours. My intentions are to get her out. I don't want to get it to where I must leave my husband to finally be done with this SH. Maybe you should. I mean, somebody said pray. Praying is going to help. Well, it might. I mean, this is a hoodoo group, so the appropriate psalm would get her out. Is it 109? Let me look this up. Is it Psalm 109? Yes, it is. Psalm 109 is the I'm pretty sure it's 109. Yeah, so 109 is like considered like to be a curse. So what I would do if I actually loved my husband and didn't have to convince myself that are you people dumb? I had to convince myself that I love my husband? Like, maybe he should leave you. He probably deserves better. Anyways. But to help you, because I'm here to help you in your failing relationship, take a lemon and write a petition. Okay. Burn the petition with the intentions of getting her out. Spread the ashes around the lemon. And for every day that she's still there, put a pin into the lemon and read Psalm 109 over it. Okay, the lemon is representing her because it's representing the negative energy. But you've surrounded it by the petition, which is to get her out. So you're trying to lift that energy out. Keep doing that until either A, she leaves, or B, the lemon starts to rot. Once it starts to rot, put the lemon in a jar and burn candles on top. Every day, burn, like, you can get one of those little stick candles. Get like the small stick candles, burn one every single day on there, doing the exact same thing. Psalm 109, and just picturing her getting out, and eventually she will leave. Now, if she doesn't leave, then what I would probably do is some divination to figure out, like, okay, what's the blockage here? You can also burn a candle for divination. I've got plenty of videos of that on my channel, okay? And you can read tarot for divination, cards, water scrying, all that fun stuff. But figure out, like, what is the blockage? Because I have a feeling that if you do this, that it's not going to work. So she also says, I'm a super beginner and first want to cleanse my home and then ward off her toxic net behavior. You would want to ward the toxic behavior first. So confine it to her room. Okay. And then set up wards around your house that absorb the toxic energy. Because if she's walking through your house and just emanating toxic energy, warding it off and cleansing your space is not going to help. So you'll want some kind of sigils or something. You can do the sigils like in water on your wall or an oil that's not going to leave a stain or anything, right? And from there, they'll just absorb the negative energy off of her, or you can gift her with special rings that you've enchanted that just absorb the negative energy from her. And then you can kind of collect those rings and cleanse them under the moon and give them back to her, right? So there's ways to contain this negative energy. And then once you've found a way to contain it, right, you'll probably want to contain it to her. So ward her broom and give her jewelry. Then you'll want to cleanse the space and then do what I suggested. Okay, that should work. I've been trying to figure out some creative ways to do witchcraft. So far, I've been safely using matches. Try unsafely. Like, that'll get creative real fast. Just make sure you have insurance. Hey, just wanted to put it out there. The snake plant would be good. It can handle no light. I wouldn't say no light, but it can handle low light. Snake plant is another good one for absorbing negative energy. Pothos would be another good one. Ivies, if you want to strangle the negative energy that's like coming into your house, right? In fact, ivies would be a really great plant to grow for protection, especially if you have a long vining one that you can wrap, say, around your window or your door or whatnot. Because what will happen is the energy that will come into your place will just get trapped in the ivy, right? So there's a good idea for that one. What else is happening in Facebook groups? So what planets are in retrograde now and how will it affect us? Okay, this retrograde thing and allowing planetary energy to affect you on a mental and emotional level, not just a spiritual level, but a mental and emotional level, is retarded. And you people need to stop doing this. Okay, Mercury retrograde, I understand. It can cause, I don't know the other retrogrades, but it can cause things like people are irritable or people are this or people are that, but it's all psychological. If you don't play into the fact that Mercury retrograde is going to turn you into a raging see you next Tuesday, then, right, like it's not going to affect you. And it bugs me when people talk about Mercury retrograde and they talk about, oh, my job is going crazy, must be Mercury retrograde, and they don't look at their surroundings. They don't look at what's around them. They just focus on this internet phenomenon that is like Mercury retrograde. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying it's way the overused. And you people need to calm down before I climb through your screens and slap you so hard that your mother, and even if she is dead, will rise and say, ow. Okay? Like, don't mess with me. Don't mess with the queen. The queen does not need to be messed with today. I need guidance on collecting graveyard dirt. I heard a few ways to do it, but would love some more input. See, that's a proper way. I mean, I would have also let in with the ways that I've heard to gather graveyard dirt, but there's plenty of ways. So I will tell you how I personally gather graveyard dirt. I do not take it from a grave. You can, but I don't. I take it from the graveyard. Okay, so it's because I don't work with a particular spirit from a particular graveyard. I work with the spirits of the dead. So the dirt in a graveyard will be infused with the spirits of the dead. So if you find, like, say, a tree and there's like dirt underneath, right, like one of those like pine trees or whatever, and there's like dirt underneath, but there's no graves around, and you take that dirt, in my craft, what you're doing is you're taking the dirt of the dead. Now, if you take the dirt from a particular grave, it is of my understanding that you're not taking the dirt of the dead where it's infused with all of the dead, the spirits of the dead. You're taking the dirt that's infused with that particular dead person. Now, Ember Honey Ravens talked about this, and I think it was on her Patreon, but it might be on YouTube, I don't know, but where she has the dirt of a serial killer, but she doesn't keep it in her house because of that type of energy, right? So it also depends on what your purpose is for the dirt. So when I collect general dirt from a graveyard, as opposed to dirt from a specific grave, then what I use that dirt for is the communication with the dead, okay? I'll use it in oils, I'll use it in incense, I'll use it in candle dressings, all that fun stuff. If I need dirt from a particular grave, what I will do is I will ask that spirit for guidance or for help with something. Or maybe I'll pull an Ember Honey Raven and go find a serial killer's grave, take their dirt, and use it to curse Cindy Lou Who. Like, who knows, right? Like, who knows? I hope that answers somebody's questions on dirt. Okay, there's all kinds of dirt that you can collect, right? Like if you grow herbs, if you have a patch of your garden that's all like herbs, you could collect that dirt because that's of the earth. Your garden dirt is of the earth, not this like dirt you buy in like the what is it called? The garden houses and whatnot, but like the dirt that you dig up from your yard where you make that a garden. That's like it's the dirt, that's the earth, that's Mother Nature. You can use that dirt. You can use the dirt around your house. You can use dirt from banks, dirt from car dealerships. If you're trying to get a car, not a car loan, but if you're trying to buy a new car and you really want to buy it from this particular dealership, you can use dirt from the river. You can use river dirt and use that as something to help move something away from me. Okay, river water is really great for cleansing. Rainwater is really great for cleansing. Moon waters, I use moon water, so it's just tap water that I leave out under a full moon. It's from the first full moon to the last full moon. So like if I leave it out on a full moon in June and then there's another full moon in August, then right, like I'll leave it out for that month. And that water I use to channel the essence of the moon, and I'll put it into blue candles that I have because blue candles for me represents the moon. So there's just all these things that we can discuss and we can talk about. Okay, can dead frogs be grinded down to a powder to be used in spells? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'd want to dry it out first, like really crispy dry it out first. But yeah, absolutely. What would you use them in spells for? So think about the anatomy of a frog. What does a frog have? Look at that tongue that sticks out and grabs things, right? You take that tongue, stretch it out, dry it out, ground it up, use it in a money, a love, some kind of attaining spell where you need it now, right? Now. Legs, great for jumping, right? So that would be great in spells where you need to climb the ladder at work really quickly, or you need to move a relationship along really quickly. I don't know why you need to move a relationship along really quickly, but maybe you got pregnant with him and you're trying to get married to him and then tell him that you're pregnant because you're trying to trap him. I don't know, but right, like think of the anatomy of a frog and think about the situations that you could use that in, right? Okay. Frogs are also green, representation of money. What else do we have here? We got more stupid egg cleansing things. Wait, how long is this? Okay, that's not that long. Looking for some help and ideas here. I'm trying to build a bone set for divination. Never done this, so we're going to try and give some advice if we can. I read a site, and I've seen a few sets for sale like this, with similar bones, but each painted with different colors and indicates different meanings. I thought that would be a cool idea, but in looking at the result, they seem a bit cartoony to me, so I'm hesitant. All they're doing, from my understanding, like the concept of bone throwing or whatnot, it's not just bones that are in there. There could be runes in there, there could be buttons, there could be pennies, there could be anything, really, small twigs, anything. And the reason that these people probably painted these carved bones is to better indicate that this bone is different than this bone and it has a different meaning, right? I figured I could do a hybrid color designs, but in looking at pictures so I can get some ideas, designs to use, I found almost nothing. Is it against the rules or something? Anyone know where I might get more information on this sort of thing? Either designs that might be appropriate or colors. So I think And somebody's going to have to, like, in the comments below, tell me that I'm way off on this. But I think the concept of bone throwing and the collection of bones for your bone throwing is a deeply personal thing. And if you carve them or if you paint them, I think that's completely up to you how you want to do it. I could be wrong, so we're not going to comment anymore on that until somebody clues me in, because I don't know too much about using bones or dice or stuff like that for divination, like the throwing stuff, right? Nobody else is saying anything in chat. You people are annoying to me. Okay. Any tips for sour jars? It's right in there in the goddamn name. Lemons. Lemons, let them rot. Okay, sour jars can easily go bad, but you want sour things. Vinegar, sour candies, lemon, anything. Stick it in a jar, stick your petition in there, stick a bay leaf in there, burn the appropriate color candle or white color candle on top until you get what it is that you want. Now, from there, you can either freeze the jar by sticking it in the freezer and never taking it out if you want the situation to stay exactly like that. So if you're souring a relationship, right, and you think that Bob might get back together with Jill, but you really want Bob to stay with you, stick that in the freezer and their relationship will always be soured. Right? So there's that. Now, people post these stupid memes in these Facebook groups where they're like, I tore the leg off your voodoo doll and I stirred my coffee with it. Like, voodoo dolls aren't, I don't want to say real, but in the context of memes, they're not real. Are they real in witchcraft? Yes, but they're not generally called voodoo dolls. Maybe in voodoo they're called voodoo dolls, but they're mostly just called dolls or puppets. And yes, you can use them to represent people, and you can stick pins in them to either help them, or you can stick pins in them to hurt them. And you can dress them with oils and stuff them with herbs and set them on fire. I mean, I've done that a couple of times, really stopped the whole drama situation going on a couple of years ago, just killed that right off. Don't let anybody tell you that witchcraft isn't real. And so puppets can affect people, but it's not like you can rip the leg off of a puppet, right? Or you see in those, like, I think it's like the first episode of Charmed where they're like, or maybe it's not Charmed. No, because they've got the rose of the puppet and they stick it into there and the demon gets all like the thorns on him. And I'm like, I'm not talking new Charmed, I'm talking old Charmed, right? So, when people waiting on your downfall, but you a goat. Now, this is an interesting image. I can't share this image with you because it's on Facebook. But have you ever seen those goats? Okay, those goats that can climb a flat wall. Or what you would presume to be a flat wall, right? And it's like people are just like, you're gonna fall. And you're just like, I'm just hanging out here on this flat wall. And they're the goats that climb these walls because there's some kind of algae or something or salt that's on these that seeps through these walls that the goats eat. I think it's like calcium or something. I don't know. Now, can I find my sage stick in here? Was it a rosemary sage stick? No. I'm just looking at sage sticks now. I love when people post candles. They're like their burnt down candles on Facebook because you never know what the direction is. So whenever somebody reposts a candle on Facebook, I always look at the direction that it's going. And I think, yeah, so I'm looking at this one and it's like burnt down and it's like seeping over all of the sides. Okay, over all of them. Except for this one. So on this one, it's not seeping over, which would indicate that it's not coming to you. It's seeping over on the side, which means you have a past blockage, but it's seeping over on this side, which means it's coming to you in the near future, but it's not going to last long. Ooh, girl. Right? Like, I love to do that. I'll just flip through some of these sometimes and, like, see that people are, like, posting their crap on Facebook groups, and I'm just like, your life is going to crap. And then I read the comments and everybody's like, oh, everything is fine, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, your opinion matters. You're a Facebook witch. That means you're not a real witch. You're like, I'm a Facebook witch. Facebook witches aren't real witches. Don't be a Facebook witch. When I talk about Facebook witch, I'm talking about those like people that like live in groups, right? And they cause all this drama, and they're like supposedly witches with immense power. Like, no, you're a fraud. I love when people post their dreams. So listen to this. Just had a dream. I was in my bathroom with the sink running, and I heard something tapping on the pipe. I looked down the sink, and it was a fish with its mouth open, drinking all the water. I call out to my sister to come look at this, and then I wake up. Anyone know what the meaning of this is? You're thirsty, but you're trapped. You're trapped in something, okay? You're the fish in this pipe, and you can't get out. But the water is coming down, which is, I guess, life or whatever, and it's just coming down, and you're just drinking it all up. So it could be drama, it could be anything that's going on in your life. That water could represent anything. But you're basically trapped. Or it could be your subconscious being like, "Hi, how are you? Just to let you know, you're thirsty." Right? Like dehydrated. I heard that white candles can stand in for a color that you don't have. Do all of you do substitutions when you don't have that black, blue, yellow, etc. candle? Oh, I want to read some of these comments. Right? Like these people are just in the head. Now open the comments. White can definitely be used for any working. Okay, inscribe your intentions and anoint if you choose to. I used to inscribe my intentions on the candle. And sometimes I will inscribe my intentions on the candle. But most of these days what I do is just put my intentions into the candle itself. Because when you can inscribe it and then put intentions in, but right? And that's what this person was missing and saying, is putting intentions in. I do not. I was taught that not everything has substitutions, and that if I really want to do the work, I need to have the proper items. Okay, that right there is utter bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Whoever taught you that is a fraudulent witch. Okay, like fraudulent. Like just has no idea what they're talking about and makes me want to fucking stab them in the face. Okay, like you're just, no. You can substitute. If you really want to do the work, then you need to have the proper items. No, you don't. Says who? Says what book? Says what deity? It says what? It says who? Oh, you say? Oh, you stupid. Shut the fuck up before I fucking knock your goddamn motherfucking teeth down your throat. Woo! You don't need to have the proper items to do the proper work. You need intention, visualization, and manifestation. That's all you need. You don't need candles. You don't need herbs. You don't need sticks and stones from the river. And you don't need dirt from a serial killer's grave. All you need is intentions. And your true will. Like, Christ. Our ancestors weren't fortunate enough to have colored candles, so white candles would be universal. Exactly. Right? Like, think about it. Some witch in the 17th century wasn't going to, be like, oh, I need a blue candle, but I can't do this because I don't have a blue candle. Christ almighty. Fucking stupid. There's people posting things about, like, the process of divination, right? Like, I do like when people, so I'm not going to read this because it's really long, but this particular person put up here divination, right? And the types of divination, inductive divination, interpretive divination, which is generally what I do, is to interpret based off of my own understanding of the situation, what the cards are saying to me. I'm a huge tarot card divination person, but I don't like to collect tarot cards. I need just one deck. That's all I need, just one deck. Inspired divination, roles of divination in conjure, right? Like, this is a hoodoo group, but like, right? So I like when people post this kind of information and just kind of glancing over it, it seems like it's legit. I would post my source though. That's what I would do. Now, this person posted another candle picture, and I'm going to try and describe it. It's on a plate, and there's a piece of paper, right? And there's a blue candle on it, and the wax is going towards you guys. There's a yellow candle off into the corner with the wick both going towards you and the wax going towards you. I don't know what this petition was for, but this person is asking for a candle reading type thing. They say that it was dressed with mercury oil, and the yellow one in the back with crow of success oil. What I can tell you is this did not work. Okay. So you have a blockage that's preventing whatever it is that you're trying to attract from coming to you, and it can't reach you. The blue candle that's burnt on top has its wax that kind of goes, let me make sure I can see. Okay, here we go. So it's got its wax that kind of goes this way, right? And its wick is also kind of following it. So in my interpretation, plus you've got the wall back there, you've got a blockage. Something's blocking this. Now with your yellow candle, it's like a dome, right? It's a dome that comes, and the wick kind of goes up the center of it. It also indicates that there's a blockage over there too. So this, in my opinion, didn't work, and you should do some divination to figure out what the blockage is. Okay. So I love when people are posting pictures of their candles burning, or their videos with their candles burning. And they're like, "Ooh, look how high the flame is." Now, sometimes you will get a natural flame that will get that high. But 90% of the time, the reason your flame is so high and the reason your whole candle is like seriously engulfed is because you've overdressed it. Okay. We all do this. We coat our candles in herbs and oil, and you've seen my videos where my candle flames are just huge. It's overdressed. I'm not saying that there's no magical energy there or intention there, and we definitely like to say, look at my candle flame, the spirits around, because we can feel that energy, we can feel our entities around. And there is some truth that the energy that we've put in is affecting, the flame, but at the same time, we also have to realize that it's the laws of physics. Well, not physics, but the laws of nature, to be like, okay, there's herbs here, there's a flame here, there's oil here, all of it catches on fire, right? Like, how to break soul ties? I've never heard of a soul tie before, okay? There's nobody talking in chat, but there's 6 of you. What are you, just sitting here listening to me read through this hoodoo Facebook group and talk about these posts and call people stupid because they are stupid? A lot of them are stupid. Not all of them are stupid, but a lot of them are stupid. I'm very ranty today. I have never heard of a soul tie. I don't know what a soul tie would be. However, there is a spell that Sabrina did. I know. Not real. It's Hollywood fiction, but it is based off of an actual spell. You remember, I don't know if you've seen Sabrina, but if you have, there's an episode where she's got the 2 candles, they're red in this case, and then she's got the wick, and it kind of goes up a bit, or something. But there's a wick that's in between them. And as it burns down, the wick separates, and that separates them from being tied together. It's a cord cutting spell, essentially. What you would want for a soul tie, whatever that is a cord cutting spell. Thanks for accepting. No one cares for that. I'm just like literally reading everything. Wait, what? Oh, I kind of like this lady. Next time you break up with a man and you about to perform your greatest, most profound hex on his mama, because she should have drowned him when he was a baby, pause and cast something that will elevate you from creatures like him. Yes. Do you know how many times, okay, in these hoodoo groups specifically, and I don't know, maybe it's just the people that are in hoodoo or the culture of, I don't know. But I'm just going to say this, and y'all can take it however you want. I have noticed in hoodoo groups on Facebook specifically that they're mostly filled with African women who are trying to get their man to be trustworthy or stop cheating on them or leave his baby mama or like something, right? And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like, you should be casting magic to be like, you know what? I don't need your ass. Like, you're a strong, independent woman. Like, you don't need no man. Like, I don't know why you would need to be casting a spell to keep your husband from cheating on you with the next door neighbor, you know, like. Now, a lot of these groups talk about High John the Conqueror route. Protection, luck, money, gambling, power, so on and so forth. I can never seem to get my hands on any High John the Conqueror route, and anytime that I find it, it is massively expensive. So I have nothing to say about High John the Conqueror. Okay. What else do we have in here? Question on honey jars. Can you add more items into it later on? That's actually a great question. And when burning a new candle, should I pick off the remaining wax drip from the last candle or just burn the new one in the middle of the old wax? Thank you. This is a magnificent question. Christ, this woman knows what a honey jar is. She knows her stuff. And this is the type of question that you want to see, that you want to respond to. Okay, now there's some responses in here, and I'm not going to get into them, but what I will tell you is that once you put the lid on the jar and you burn the first candle, you have sealed the jar. Even if the wax doesn't go over and physically seal the candle or the jar, you have sealed that jar. Do not open it. Because all of that energy that you're sucking into the jar, okay, to attract the thing that you want to attract, or would you be sucking energy into the jar? No. You would be emanating energy from the jar to attract things to you. Yeah, because you'd be like, you'd literally be like a saucer of sugar that's been left out attracting ants to it. Okay, so in that case, you wouldn't want to open it because it would just fizzle. So what I would do is gather all the things that you want to add to it before you burn the first candle on it, put it all together, assemble it. I would never add more to it, because if you need to add more to it, then you need to think about, why do you need to add more to it? Is the spell not working as quickly? Is there something that you can burn around it? Like dragon's blood, for example. If you put a dragon's blood incense around the honey jar spell and you're burning your candle on top and you're putting the intentions in of, okay, I want this to speed up, right? So you could do that. The other thing that you can do if you're thinking about adding something is take that item and place it on top. And as you're burning more candles down, which should answer the next part of the question, do I pick off the wax or burn more candles? Burn more candles. You can put the items that you wanted to add around the candle. The wax will go over those items and seal those items onto the jar. So that's another way to do it. Now, that depends how heavy you dress your candles, because I have a money jar, sugar jar spell that I've been working for a couple of months now, as you guys all know. And it, the candles that burn down, they tend to engulf the whole top part of it, which is a good sign. It's burning everything off and sealing that jar down. But at the same time, what is also happening is that you're getting that ash buildup. So you can scrape the ash buildup, but if you have wax buildup, just place the candle on top. Okay. I'm not looking at that poster or that picture because there is something with 8 legs that has fur on it trapped inside of a no. I saw a daddy long leg in my house yesterday. I threw my keys at it and killed it. I was like, you can have my house, you can have my car, you can have everything. It died. I was like, well, apparently keys are too heavy for you. Does anyone know the origins of jars or honey jars in root work? Why work with jar versus other tools? Because jars can contain. You want to contain a situation, or you want to attract a situation that you can then contain. Jars are about control. You are trying to control the situation. Wait, what is this? But yeah, you're trying to control the situation, so you are placing specific items into a jar, sealing the jar, burning candles on top of it to either attract, dispel, get rid of, or curse. Yes, you can curse with jars, or heal, and yes, you can heal with jars. How do you heal with jars, you might be asking? Do the exact same thing you would do with cursing, but place healing herbs and intentions into it. How do you curse with jars? Place a person or puppet or image or something inside the jar with fire ants or lemon or spicy things or whatever it is that you want to put in there. Crap, you can crap in there if you want to curse them, and then seal it, burn candles on top. If you want that curse to stick around, stick it in the freezer and never touch it. Same thing with healing jars, right? Person inside, healing herbs, intentions, so on and so forth. If you want that to stick around, maybe they're going through cancer treatments and you want them to go into remission. They're going through all their treatments. They're not just relying on new age medicine, but they're actually going through chemo. And then they go into remission. If you want that remission to stick around, throw that jar in the freezer. That's why jars. Now, specifically in root work, I don't know. But in the craft, that is my reasoning behind why you would probably want jars. Now, with root work, because it is tied to an African ancestry, and most of the Africans that were practicing root work back then were slaves, it could also be a way to contain, control a situation that is happening in your life. Right? Does that make sense? I hope it does. So, is this a long one? No, this is just drama. Like, no one cares about drama. I've never heard about this. Do cathedral candles typically run with a trail of tears? I'm starting to feel like they inherently do. I feel like candles should be read until the end. No, you can read a candle while it's burning down. Okay, let me look up what a cathedral candle is. I want an image. Oh, okay. So they're the really tall pillar candles or really tall stick candles. Yeah, they're the really tall, like the church candles that you see, the massive church candles. So, I mean, it would make sense if you have a breeze in your room, or if there's a breeze or whatever, like, right? If you walk by the candle, like, they're tall, and like that wind is gonna, it's gonna knock some of the wax off. They're thin candles. Those are huge candles, though. I don't know why you would want a massive candle like that for a working. I mean, you could use it, like, the bigger the candle, the longer the working is going to take to finish. But you can always read a candle and pay attention to the way it's burning. Based off of the way it's burning, you can then burn other candles around it or incense around it to manipulate the energy. Maybe there's a blockage. It's showing you a blockage. There's a lot of wax dripping down the back, right? Not a lot in the front or on the sides, but a lot in the back. So what you probably want to do is maybe burn a reversal candle beside your candle that's burning. And then as the reversal candle's going down and breaking through the blockages or whatnot, then your candle may switch positions and start burning another way, right? So those are what I call helper spells. So a helper spell is where you've got your main spell going, and it's a candle spell or some other kind of spell. I don't know what other kind of spell you would have that's going for that long, but we'll go with a candle spell. It's not burning a certain way, so you need to burn another spell or maybe do another spell to help that one, to change the energy. So like I described, a road opener, reversal, so on and so forth. Now, I kind of did a helper spell. It was more of a divination spell, but remember when I was doing my road opener spell and the glass was really black and then it cleared up and I was doing the divination to see, okay, what's going on? And it turned out that nothing was going on, like it had worked through its issues. That is kind of like a helper spell, right? A booster spell is kind of like, you're doing a jar candle, the flame is really low, so you do another spell beside it to boost the original spell, to add intentions. Maybe you craft an effigy of the demon that you're working with, or an idol of the demon that you're working with, and you place it by the candle and ask the demon to inhabit the idol and to place the energies into the candle itself, right? Like that would be like a booster spell. Has anyone attracted their soulmate using hoodoo? I'm assuming a lot of people have. Why do you think a lot of people use witchcraft? Because we're lonely individuals, okay? Can anyone tell me the magical properties of white azalea? No. See, I don't know everything. Oh my god. I'm looking at this image and it is engulfed with fire. What a release. I'm still woozy. Gotta bury the ashes later tonight. Cord cutting ritual. Letting go of an ex-lover. So this shows that there's some kind of jar, and then there was a candle burned on top. But I think they overdressed this candle because it is just, it's engulfed all the way down to the jar, like the neck of the jar, everything. Like that is not fire safety. I love it when people, oh my god, so a lot of people will post these pictures, right, of their workings, of their candles dripping everywhere and all that stuff, and they do them on the ground or on a table that's got tile or whatever, and they just let them burn down. And then you've got this like wax spill all over your floor or all over your tile thing, and I'm just like, Christ, people, just put them on a plate. Can I manifest a new home, love, money, whatever, but a healthy lifestyle? How do I do workings to break negative patterns and unhealthy choices in food and leisure time? What color candle do I use? What scripture do I meditate on? What herbs do I use? I am up in arms here on this topic. My goal, eat healthy and exercise. No spell is going to help you with that. You need to make the conscious decision to eat healthy and exercise. Break patterns of wasting time during my day just eating and watching Netflix or sleeping when I could be working out. So go work out. Please provide tips and suggestions. People like this are really stupid. Oh my god, these people are the dumbest people in the entire universe. These are the people that think witchcraft is going to solve all of their problems, or in this case, hoodoo, because it's a hoodoo group. They think that hoodoo is going to solve all of their problems. No, it is not going to solve any of your problems. Hoodoo is not going to solve any of your problems unless you also work to solve your problems. I've said this 1,000 times before. You have to do the mundane with the magical. And it really pisses me off that a lot of people, they don't get that through their head. Like this lady, she wants to eat healthy and exercise. Get off your ass and eat healthy and exercise. Put down the chips and put down the Funyuns and put down the Coca-Colas. Like, only you, physically, on this plane of existence, taking into the laws of physics and thermodynamics and the way the natural universe works when we're not manipulating it with our magical energies, only you can get off your ass and do something. Breaking the patterns of wasting time during the day just eating and watching Netflix, go for a walk. Get up, go for a walk. Get out of your house, okay? Now let's see what some of the people are saying, because these people are really stupid. I suggest brown, orange, white candles. Brown to represent the physical, orange or red for vitality, energy, and breaking old habits. The white, good for overall health. It's kind of interesting. Look up cord cutting with yellow candles and protective herbs. I made a motivational jar with coffee, cinnamon, some rosemary, lavender. I get anxious, and I made a motivation sigil. You can address the barriers or obstacles to why you don't engage in those behaviors. Like, there's going to be a reason that this person acts the way that they do, and they expect that the craft itself is going to solve those problems for them, and it's not. It's not. And the fact that you think that it will is stupid. I had an interest in folk magic for a while now, and I finally decided to take the leap. Do people ever just take a leap with their craft? Do they just decide, I'm a Wiccan, but I've been reading about hoodoo. I think I'm just going to take a leap. Just going to take a leap. Just going to switch from Wiccan to hoodoo. I don't know. Like, is that how people's craft work? Because for mine, it's this dramatic, cut you off of everything, blow your life up, turn you into this person who thinks you're probably a fake witch, and you probably are a fake witch. And even Cindy Lou, who's sitting there with her new channel name of just random and being like, you're a fake witch, hasn't uploaded anything in 5 months, but she stalks all my videos and dislikes every single one of them because she's a stupid bitch. But you know, that's how life is. But I don't really know where to start. There's a lot of tea in this live chat, isn't there? The most I've done is try to communicate with the ancestors through meditation. Can anyone offer me some advice? Now, you're like, why? If interested in folk magic, I'd advise learning the different herbs and what they're used for. That's any craft, you moron. There's books and files sections on this page, I believe. Yeah, there's also books on folk magic. I would start with books on folk magic. I don't know, I don't really hear about people using ancestors outside of hoodoo or voodoo. Like, I've never heard of somebody being like, I'm going to call upon my ancestors in Wicca. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying it's cultural appropriation or it's bad to do that. I definitely do that because when I work with the spirits, it's the spirits of the land, the earth, the elements, the dead, the ancestors. I don't know who my ancestors are personally, but like in terms of like being able to have pictures or give offerings or whatnot. But with spirits of like, in that case, like I kind of work with the ancestors a bit, but I've never really heard of ancestors being used outside of anything but hoodoo, and I don't know why you're asking about folk magic inside of a hoodoo group. I mean, I guess hoodoo is kind of folkish, right? I guess all magic is kind of folkish. What is this? I don't know what that is, and I don't want to read through it because it's way too much time and effort, and no one cares. A lot of people doing greetings, a lot of people thanking you for like accepting them. I've been doing a lot of candle work. What does this say to you guys? Okay, let's look at this candle. It's a clean burn, straight down. Why did you dress the rim of the top? You want the herbs to catch on fire. So this person has a white candle that's going down into some sort of candle holder. It looks like it's burned halfway down. And it also looks like that they've thrown on a couple extra herbs before taking this picture because the herbs are all on the rim, right? When the candle burns down, it's got that kind of like rim. So those are going to catch on fire. Somebody says nothing, it's not finished yet, there's nothing to read. You can always read a candle. Even if it's just burning down, at any point you can read that candle to find out what's going on. We've already talked about that, so shut the fuck up, you stupid liar. But in this case, it's a clean burn. This is a very clean burn. This is what you want. If you're doing candle magic and it burns all the way down and there isn't a single drop of wax and it burned cleanly, your spell was a magnificent success. Okay. Let's see. I have a question, blah, 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 something about like yada, yada, yada. So this person says that they've had very little wax of a decent sized candle, no dripping or pooling. That's good. Okay. Now this person burned an orange candle that went down, doesn't look like it was dressed with anything, looks like it was just a candle. Maybe it was dressed with a little bit of oil. I don't know, he doesn't say. And by he, I mean she, because it is a she. But this candle is the wick and the wax have made almost an identical pool beside it. Okay, can you see that? Can you see my hands? Okay, yeah, you can see my hands. I'll get to your comments in a section. I see you in the chat. But the candle circles here, and there's like almost another circle beside it, and the wick goes into it, which means that there's something in your past that is unresolved, and you need to deal with it before this spell is a success. Now, the comment section here. Sometimes I'll use a small glass bottles, just incense. I decide I need to add something else, then add those smaller bottles to the big bottle and seal them all inside. Sounds strange, but it works. I mean, hey, if it works, right? What else is going on here? Oh, well, this might actually be something. Anyone know about being blocked financially? It seems like things to do with money don't end up working out for me. Hi, how are you? This is my fucking life. Okay. I'm nervous because I just got a new vehicle and a new apartment. Can anyone point me in the right direction of removing any blocks and manifesting more money or a better paying job? Thank you. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to change our mindset, okay? Because your mindset right now is you're afraid. You just got this new car and this new apartment and you don't want to lose it. That's a good mindset. So first of all, what I would do is look at your financial situation, do up a budget, find out where your money is going. Okay, right? Dave Ramsey, Basics 101, find out where your money is going. Do a budget. Once you've got that figured out, okay, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and what kind of money do I have left over? And what money am I putting in the savings, right? And then once you put money into savings and you start building up your financial situation, then I would start doing prosperity spells to bring in more money, bring in that better job, do maybe some road openers, reversal spells, unblocking spells, right? Cord cutting spells, that type of thing. Again, any suggestion for blockages, it depends upon the blockage, right? So divination first to figure out what it is. Then depending on that, like I said, cord cutting, reversal, uncursing, it depends upon the situation, really. Was wondering if anybody can read the candle wax on this obsession jar. So somebody did an obsession jar, the red candle burned down, but it made a rim. So in this rim, it's almost clear of wax. It looks like the wax is kind of going in a little bit, and then outside it's pouring. That means something is preventing this from working the way you want it to. Okay. Yeah, this person says, looks like another candle will need to be burned. There is a clear wall surrounding the center going to the present and the future. Exactly. So there's something preventing this from working. So before you burn another candle, on let's say you're doing an obsession jar, right? And it burns down, but you've got that wall, like it looks like a crater, like somebody dropped an asteroid on your little planet there. If you've got that going on, there's some kind of either mental, emotional, or some kind of blockage that's preventing you from making that person obsessed with you, okay? Again, divination to figure out what it is. I wanted to know if anyone was familiar with the vinegar and salt under the bed thing and how you would do it. I've never heard of that before. Mix and just pour under the bed. Do you know what effect it has? Well, you see witches and they see you, another world. Make sure you'll come back. People who bewitch you. Oh, this person doesn't speak very good English. Take a bowl and add salt, then vinegar, then water. Place where nightmares or shadow activity is present under the bed or beside it is good for bedroom. Pray over it for protection. It will suck the shadow energy into it, purify it, as well as trap it in the salt. Or trap in the salt what isn't purified. We just learned something new today. I want to try this. Right? Like my craft is like largely experimentation. I'm going to try this. Like I like this. I'm going to try this and I'm going to let you guys know how this goes. Okay. Recently began working on meditation. I'm a baby at it, but when I fully get into a relaxed state and begin to start feeling like my body is almost float, I begin to get scary images. Can anyone give me advice on this? That could be... There's not enough information here for me to tell you what's happening here. Some people just say to stick with it. Ask questions. What are you? What is this? What is happening? Fight through it. Try and push through it. If it's surrounding you, if it's engulfing you, it could be a trauma that's manifesting and trying to engulf you, and maybe you'll need to work through that before you can, whatever it is that you're trying to do with meditation. But meditation by itself shouldn't be giving you scary images. I'm not really sure how to help you here. I'm sorry. Divination, I guess, maybe? Like, I don't know. No one knows. Is there something I can put together for a friend who suffers from bipolar disorder, PTSD, and anxiety? Wow. Yeah, it's called medication. A lot of medication. They're gonna need to make sure that they're taking their bipolar medication, PTSD medication, anxiety medication, following up regularly with their doctors and therapists and all that fun stuff to find. I know with bipolar, from what I've read, it takes a while for them to find the right medication. And then if you have other underlying disorders like PTSD and anxiety, it's going to take longer. So what I would do, a spell, is I would just be there for them as a friend. Like, why? Are you an attractive person? You have an attractive name. No, you're not. Sorry, I just thought you would be. I love looking at some of these people's posts because their altars, their tiny little altars, are just so basic and so cute. 7 African Powers altar, not sure if correct, rigged in my own manner. I'm not sure what an African 7 Powers African altar is supposed to look like, so I can't comment on it, but it looks pretty. Okay. Question, when you guys are using candles, freestanding, and Norvina, what is a Norvina? Do you blow out the candle when you leave? Like if you have to go to work or somewhere? Yes. These people say they snuff it out. We'll move them to a safe location. Always practice candle safety. Blowing out the candle will blow away the trick. Or what you're doing, snuffing it out is the way to go. Now, it depends on the tradition. In Hoodoo, blowing out the candle can be offensive. For me, in my craft, because I don't practice Hoodoo, if I need to go out somewhere and it's not a jar candle that can burn in a jar safely, not going to like go anywhere, right? Like if it's an actual candle pillar or candle sitting on a plate, I will blow it out. I will first ask the spirits, ask the entities that I'm working with, hey, I need to go somewhere. I don't feel safe leaving this. Do you mind if I blow it out? When you do, you blow it out, you come back, you light it, you put the same energies in, you feel the energies of the spirits, you conjure them back, because they're not going to stand there waiting for you to relight the candle. They're going to go away. So you do have to re-put the intentions in, reconjure those entities, right? If you do that enough times, though, if like let's say you have a dinner candle, right, that you've dressed and you're burning down, and you blow it out every hour because you're running in and out of your house and all this other stuff, your spirits might get really pissed with you. So for those particular ones, what I would do is I would burn them at night. So when you get home from work, if you know you're going to be home that whole night, you're not leaving anywhere, that's when I would do the spell. Okay. Some people say they pinch. Some people say they never blow out. Some people say, you know, they don't recommend this for anybody else, but they have 5 planets and fire signs. So very fiery breath that flames like. The proof is in the pudding. Wait, what? My curses never fail. What? This person's so stupid. This is just not a candle. Like, what? Listen. I don't recommend this for anybody else, but I have 5 planets in fire signs, so I have a very fiery breath that the flames like. Oh, so she blows out her candles. The proof is in the pudding, though. My curses never fail. Oh, okay, I wasn't following that. I was like, are you stupid or something? But she blows out her candles. I have an affinity for fire. I'm kind of a pyromaniac, so maybe that's the reason why I can blow out the candles and it still works. I mean, you still want to put the intentions in. I mean, if you sat there for half an hour and you put intentions in, you don't have to re-sit there for another half an hour to put the same intentions in. You just have to conjure the spirits back and ask them to continue working your spell for you. Okay. This is my money spell advice. Any advice on the candle to the right? Okay, so let me describe this image for you. It's a plate. There's bay leaves, lots of bay leaves, really great. There's other herbs on there. There's some money. There's a Bible behind it. This is very Hoodoo. Glass of water behind that too. So the candle, both candles are green. It doesn't look like they're dressed with anything. They're not standing up straight. That's a big problem. So the candle on the left is leaning. Okay, it's leaning, so it's dripping down. So you're not going to get a clean reading off that. It's just going to indicate that you've got past blockages when you might not have past blockages. But because the candle is not standing up straight, it's not burning correctly. The other candle on the right side does look like it's standing up straight, or at least straighter than the one on the left. Now, the one on the right has a low flame compared to the one on the left, which has a high flame. The one on the right has wax drippings on all sides, lots of tears. I don't know what the particular reason for the spell is. It might be bringing in money, or it might be help me and my partner get more money, right? It's just 2 green candle spells. Again, I don't know the correct, I don't know what the spell's for, but the one on the right is failing. So I would do a booster spell or some kind of road blockage, because it's dripping all around it, which means something is wrong, which means as it burns down, it will do the crater thing, which means that there's some kind of blockage there. When you're doing candle readings, you need to make sure that your candles are standing as straight as humanly possible, and that there's no breezes or wind anywhere around, because you really don't want that to affect or manipulate the reading of the candle. Okay. Do y'all feel hoodoo is solely defined by what people did in the past, or is it a living tradition defined by what people do today? And a lot of people are saying both. And that is very true. It's defined by the past, the protections against the master, the working the energy, all of that stuff, right? And today, definitely today, with the Black Lives Matter movement and all of the stuff that's going on today, hoodoo is an evolution that evolves and adapts to your life as an African American. Let's see. So I did a simple candle spell for healing to banish feelings of loneliness in my life. I've tried spells like that. They don't work. Trust me, I have tried every spell you can think of to banish that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of you're going to die alone, that no one loves you, that no one wants anything to do with you, that you're a horrible human being and you should just off yourself. There's no spell that's going to get rid of that. There's an underlying reason behind why you feel so lonely. You've got to figure that out. Using a green candle associated with Venus on a Friday, I dressed it with love oil from top to bottom. Is this guy attractive? Because he's clearly gay. Oh. Okay, no, you're not. Okay. Where are we going? Top to bottom going right. Now, when you dress candles, there's different ways of dressing the candle with the oil. People say that if you hold the candlestick, right, where the wick is towards you guys, but you know the end is at my chest, and you dress it coming towards you, you're attracting it. If you flip it and dress it, no wait, don't flip it, keep it the way it was, and you dress it going towards you guys, then that means that you're banishing it. There's all these ways. What I do is I just roll it in, like I put some oil on it and roll it in herbs and put my intentions in. To me, it doesn't matter the way that you do it, but this person's description of their intention, or of their spell, seems very money oriented. Even though you're using love oil on it, petition paper underneath for healing and moving on, and then prayed Psalm 23 over my intent, and had to recover from the past trust relationship issues. The next day I felt so damn empty and uneasy, like I wanted to be angry or do something, but I didn't have the energy to do so. Oh my God, it worked for you. I need to do this spell. So what basically happened is that the magic made you numb. You're numb. You took it all away. It doesn't do anything. You're numb. Oh my God. But I want this spell because it seems like I would love to be numb. I can't say I'm depressed, but it's a feeling of nothingness, worry. Now I laid in my bed the whole day due to it. What did I do this time? Oh, for fuck's sakes. What did you do this time? You did a spell that I have been trying for years, and it never worked for me. I'm going to try a spell like this tonight or tomorrow, because I'm going to do another. I made a money oil for a series that's upcoming, and I'm going to bless it with Clonic in the Morgon tonight. But I want to do a spell like this because this is amazing. Now, this spell took the feelings of loneliness, the pain, misery, and just made you numb. Oh my God, I want this, I want this, I want this. This is amazing. Now, I don't suggest people, because this guy seems like he's new to this. Don't do this because he doesn't know, he didn't expect this. But this is what you got. Okay. You need shadow work. You cannot banish what is a part of you. So it's not that he banished it, it's just that he blocked it off and made himself numb. Because they're right, you cannot banish something that is a part of you. Okay. Other people have said work on it daily. Some people are like, I think you're depressed and full of anxiety. Hoodoo is not the answer to mental health issues. This is true. Witchcraft is not the answer to mental health issues. It is not the answer to your weight issues. It is not the answer to your man cheating on you issues and you getting into toxic, poisonous relationships with people. It is a guide, a tool for you to use to manifest things that you want. And when you try to use it to banish depression or feelings of anxiety or whatnot, you're just suppressing. There are some feelings I would like to suppress. So this spell worked really well for me. Now, how could I adapt this? Woo, girl. I've got like 4 of these types of spells in my Book of Shadows, and I've tried them over the years, and it just does not seem to work out the best for me. What's the best way to do a return to sender spell and a deep spiritual cleanse on yourself? I like that question. So first of all, the divination is needed to figure out what it is that you're returning. But if you already know what it is you're returning, then I would burn a red candle upside down. It could be any color, it doesn't really matter. Red came to my mind, but burn it upside down, dressed in dragon's blood oil, and kind of like a moon oil. How do you make a moon oil, you're asking? You could literally just put some oil in a jar and leave it out under a full moon. I would do that. And then burn it and send the intentions back. Do it on an upside down mirror. And have the energy go flying through the mirror. So it's like flying into their space. And then for a cleanse, for me, I would just sage myself down. But, I mean, you do you. There's thousands of ways to do a cleanse. From baths, teas, smudging, everything. Is this a long post? Okay. I was wondering if someone in here could help me out. I had surgery when I was 15. 4 years after the surgery, I started to get really sick. The hospital and the doctors thought I was making it up, and they lost the notes related to the surgery I had. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. That is literally a lawsuit waiting to happen. Due to this unfortunate circumstance, I didn't get the treatment I needed. They just signed me off work indefinitely. It took them 20 years for them to diagnose me, and now all they can do is a hysterectomy, a 9-hour operation and a colonoscopy bag at the end of it. So I'll be crapping through my stomach on top of what I've been through already. They are trying to deny any fault on their part, but if they hadn't lost my records, my condition wouldn't have gotten so bad. Is there a spell I can do to help me get justice for the poor quality of life I live now? Absolutely. First of all, do the mundane. Talk to a lawyer and find out if there's enough information there, enough evidence for a lawsuit, because this sounds like you could easily sue this hospital or group of doctors or whatever into the ground. Okay, losing patient medical record information specifically on a surgery, oh, motherfucker. So what I would do is talk to a lawyer, and then what I would do is I would cast 2 spells. So when you talk to the lawyer, the first spell you want to cast is a yellow candle burning on top of the sun card. Okay, with licorice root. It's like a truth spell, but on top of the sun card. So you're basically doing like a truth spell. You're using yellow because you want to illuminate, and it's on the Sun card upright because you want to illuminate the entire situation, find out everything you can. After that happens, if the lawyer says that there's enough information here for a lawsuit, then I would do another spell on the Justice card upright, probably a white candle or something, dressed in dragon's blood and other associated herbs that help to bring justice to the situation. That's what I would do. Okay, that's what I would do. How long is this going on for? An hour and a half. Financial issues. You can try this practice. Sorry, I'm Tibetan Buddhist practitioner, but there are tons of similarities between our practice and witchcraft. I also know several witches. For financial, but there's lots you can do for financial issues. But if you're making poor financial decisions, no tradition is going to help you. Oh, this sounds horrible. So for the past 2 days, my baby has been crying and screaming in her sleep, and recently her dad's mom told someone no one wanted her here. My baby is always happy. She even wakes up smiling, and lately she's been crying and looking at it like the wall and stuff and ill, feel like something is in the room, but I don't know. Can anyone help me? You don't want a protection spell. They want a protection spell. You need to find out what's really going on, because if the child is crying and screaming in their sleep and they're not, like if there's a massive mood change, you need to investigate the situation and find out what the hell is going on, and then remove the child from that situation. Like, but I don't understand this. Recently, her dad's mom. 2 days, my baby has been crying in her sleep, and recently her dad's mom told someone no one wants her here. So it doesn't sound like it's your kid. It sounds like it's this lady's kid, and it's just like, I don't understand the story. Like, do they not want her there with you? Or do they not want her there with her actual mother? Whatever the situation is, somebody needs to step in. And a lot of people are suggesting spells and rituals and walls of protection and beating the crap out of the woman and hexing the woman and just cleansing and whatever happened to investigating the situation and actually finding out what's going on, because this could develop into a very serious situation as the child gets older if this situation is not taken care of properly. Does anyone know of hoodoo books written by Black Americans, books on mojo dolls and such? That's actually a really great question. And a lot of people are following. There's a root work. What is this image? Root work using the folk magic of Black America for love, money, and success. I can't pronounce that person's name. But it seems like it's an African. Dear Facebook, can you Facebook broke. How to stop a copycat. Someone in the community is copying my style word for word and continually trying to compete with me. Hard to explain, but they are pissing me off. Like somebody here in the wishy community? Like on YouTube? I want to find this person. I want to see them. Let's see. What happens if I search you on YouTube? That's right, people. We're investigating this person now. We're investigating the situation because I love drama. I don't even see you on the on YouTube. Like, I took your name from chat. You don't even exist as a channel. What is your channel? Tell me your channel, Lucian. But if you want to stop this person who's copying you word for word and so on and so forth, call them out. Like, I would make a video and I would literally call this person out. I would call them out. I would be like, what are you doing? Like, you are a fraudulent, fake, wannabe pretender who's stealing my ideas. And I would call them out. I would literally go on YouTube. I would make a video and I'd be like, this person, and I would download their videos, like edit the video, make it right, provide proof, and use clips and be like, okay, this is literally what I said in this video over here, right? Like, and just expose them as the fraudulent, pathetic liar that they are. You could also do a shut up spell. You could do a go away spell, which I've done before, and it's worked to great success. I mean, Cat W Magic's not on this platform anymore, but unfortunately, Random is. I've even tried to get off YouTube spell. That's what I would do. Where is it? No one cares about that. Okay, so let's go look at another group because it's only an hour and a half in, right? And I want to know more about this drama that Lucian is talking about. Let's go to this other group. This joke of a group, okay, where they post a bunch of crap all the time. Like, I'm literally trying to actually find a post worth talking about. Like, this particular group is just memes and people posting pictures of themselves. They don't actually have anything worth talking about. Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay, let's go to a different group. Let's go to this one. Anything in here? Does this group even exist? Is Facebook gonna low? Burping all over the place. That one's too long to read. Okay. Questions for pagans and witches that are aestheticians. Aestheticians. Let me Google this word. I think it means like aesthetic, like people who like pretty things. Definition. A person who is knowledgeable about the nature and appreciation of beauty, especially, yeah. So like you guys like, oh wait, camera's over there. You want to make sure the camera's facing me. Okay. Have you ever met the Fae? No. So I don't like aesthetic looking witchcraft, but I do like aesthetic looking videos. Like for me, aesthetic looking witchcraft, I don't know. Like pretty, I don't want to say it's not real. Like, I don't want to say that, like, pretty witchcraft isn't real, because it's very real. There's, like, people like Molly Roberts do pretty witchcraft all the time, right? Like, it's very real, but it's, like, it's expensive. Let's put it that way. It's expensive, and it's unnecessary. Now, if you're an artsy-fartsy person who likes that type of thing, then you do you. But this person said, I'd love to incorporate crystal healing and herbs or meditation into my practice. That shouldn't stop you. You can have vases of flowery herbs and crystal grids on your altar and make things look really pretty. I mean, Molly Roberts does it all the time. Let's see. I hope this is the right place to ask. I've been having problems with my neighbors. I always have problems with my neighbors. This is long. They want me to cut down 3 of my huge old trees. I'm appalled at the thought. They are food trees for black cockies as much as anything else. They are also over 65 years old and huge. I have had 3 arborists who have said that these trees are healthy and fairly safe. They are a species that the councils use on beachfronts as the seldom drop limbs. I don't know what that is. But have given me quotes to remove dead wood and to branches that overhang, so on and so forth. So basically, these people are really insistent about them cutting down these trees. I would talk with your city or your municipality and be like, is this allowed to happen? Like, is this not, like, trees of a certain age on a property generally become protected. An arborist will clean them up and make sure that they're healthy and still living, but they generally won't cut down a tree unless the tree or its roots or something is digging into your place and like causing, I don't know, like a crack in the foundation of your house or something. But they generally won't cut them down. Oh, as for dealing with those neighbors, go talk to a lawyer. Right. Just go talk to a lawyer. I'm fairly new to the craft. I have simple and not so simple question. How do you identify a spirit specifically? By asking it. I have and use my altar. I call out them. The flame lets me know when they are around. The question again is, how do you ask them? You ask them. Just ask the spirit. I'm not saying spirits won't lie to you, but ask the spirit. Force the spirit to be honest with you if you really want to. There's a bunch of other crappy posts in here that like no one cares about. We'll do one more group and then I'll go away. Let's see. Is this group, do they post anything of substance in here, or is it all memes and crap? What is the best way to do a separation spell? Sour jars. It's the easiest way. Let's see. The people got books. I'm so sick of the lies. Can anyone help me with a truth spell? So you can use purple candles. You can use black candles. You can use any color candle for a truth spell, but you'll want herbs like licorice root, or I think it's a calamus root or something. I don't know. But licorice root, cinnamon, cloves, stuff like that. You'll basically want to command and compel, force them to tell the truth. You can come up with truth oils, so on and so forth. Can anyone help me with an Ouija board? I have tried using it numerous amounts of times and nothing ever happens. What am I doing wrong? People say to use it in different locations. Try spirit portals instead. It takes time and practice. Are you using it by yourself? You can use a Ouija board by yourself. I've used them by myself before, but just be careful, okay? Don't be stupid, people. Don't be stupid. So somebody posted this Twitter thing, right, in this particular group, and the Twitter has a link to a article, and it says, the article title, it's by dazeddigital.com or dazeddigital.com, but the title of the article says, female masturbation can apparently open a portal to hell. And the person who tweeted this link said, yeah, that's why I do it so much. Oh, that's hilarious. Black cat fur and whiskers. Any tips what I can use them in? Black cat oil. You can use them in cursing, hexing, lifting curses and hexes, money, protection. You can also use something that I've made before. It's called, what is it? Vinegar and cat piss. So it's literally just vinegar and cat piss. And you can use that in cursing. I've used that in cursing before. So, let's see. Someone's talking about leek plant. Is there my offering to Hecate later? I will go for a walk and leave a piece of garlic and lavender at each crossroad. So I have a problem with people posting their altars. This is a nice altar. It's got some crystals, some incense. It's basic. It's clean. It's nice. I like it. Is this person attractive? This person looks attractive. This person is a female. You look like a man in this picture, but it's because of your necklace made it look like you have a goatee. So anyways, don't post your altar and stuff like that to Facebook groups, especially if you have a working going on when you post it, because you're just opening it up for people to target your working, to use your altar as a visualization technique, to then use your image as a visualization technique, to then visualize you doing spells and failing and nothing working for you and everything falling apart around you. Okay, like it's so easy for me to just curse half these people. Okay, what else is there? I'm here again. Looking for a hex to put on a bitch who won't learn her own place. She constantly trying to rile me up and start drama over everything. She won't go away, and I'm looking for something that will keep her in her place to where she's minding her own business and not in everyone else's. Put the bitch in a jar, put the jar in a freezer. Seems simple enough to me. God, this woman has huge tits. Anyways. Hi, everyone. I need some advice on how to handle my... I had to figure this out. I think it's piece of shit. Son-in-law. He put hands on me tonight. Oh, Christ. And needs to be dealt with. Any suggestions outside of having him arrested? Have him arrested? Seems logical to me. But you could also do... Oh, you could do revenge spells. You could put him in a jar. You could take a poppet of him and stick it in fire ants. You could have your husband go beat the crap out of him. You could have you could do a spell where your daughter leaves him. You could do a spell where you just destroy his whole life. There's everything you can do. Like, come on. How old are you? Can I see your picture? Lady, you look old enough here. You look the age of Miss Solitary on the internet here. Like, you look old enough to know how to deal with your craft. So I can't believe that you're still asking that. Oh, I closed Facebook. Well, this has been going on for 2 hours now, so I've ranted and raved about everything that I wanted to, and I've thrown some tea and some shade and some drama, and, you know, because apparently I'm dramatic like that. People come to my channel for the drama. They come to my channel for the drama. So let me update you on one thing before I run away. I am working on a final episode of a series coming out later this year, and I will be disabling my Adobe Creative Suite after that because I am running out of money. I'm running out of money. I'm to the point where I need a job like yesterday. So I'm going to edit the content that I have, upload it, and schedule it. And I guess from now on, we're just going to have to occasionally have a live video. You guys have enough content to last you until like probably the end of the year at this point. Because there's a series after the next series, which is the Grimoire. And there's the workings from the Grimoire, and that goes into October. And then we've got the herbs and oils, which will probably go into December. So you guys are good. You guys are good. Like, even if I don't go live, like, you guys are good. So, and I'm apparently growing. So, hello. Very slowly, though, but kind of quickly. I have, like 20 more of you people have showed up. And, like, I love all of you. And I welcome you. And I'm glad that you're here. And stick around. Don't leave. Okay. But I'm going to record that video tonight. There was another video that I wanted to record, but I'm probably not going to because I'm lazy, right? I'm lazy. Very lazy. Anyways, I love all of you people. Okay? I really do.